Hello, Norristown. This is Ed Roth, principal of the Norristown Area High School, and I'm reaching out to you today to follow up on Superintendent Dormer's message that we are suspending athletics for the fall of 2020. This was not an easy decision for us to make, but we know it is the best decision for the Norristown Area School District, our students, our coaches, and our families. We know that there are some schools that will continue to compete athletically following PIAA's guidance that was released yesterday, and we wish them the best of luck. However, in our hearts, we know that's not the right thing for our community. We developed a very good athletic reopening plan that adheres to PDE and PIAA guidelines. We feel pretty confident that we've developed good protocols for social distancing, for cleaning and sanitizing athletic equipment, game balls, and other items that are called for in order to resume sports. However, we can clean the footballs and volleyballs, but when there's two girls at the volleyball net jumping right next to each other, they're going to breathe on each other in close proximity. And the research that comes out about the coronavirus continues to tell us that the number one way that this virus is transmitted is by what we breathe. And there's no way to stop that in a volleyball game. There's no way to stop that when our cheerleaders are tumbling across the mat. And there's no way when 22 young men are diving into a pile on a football field to recover a fumble that they're not going to breathe on each other. And God forbid that one of those young men is infected with this virus. It's bad news for everyone. And yes, we know that the research says that most teenagers recover from this and get mild symptoms. But we also know that may not be the case for your grandmother that you bring it home to. We care about your grandmother. We know you do too. And we're making this decision with her in mind, just as we are with you in mind. There are schools that have shown us that it's really hard to make this work. And by schools, I mean colleges. Kansas State University tested every football player for the virus before they resumed practice, and every single player tested negative. And then they had to shut it down because they had an outbreak. The PSAC, the Ivy League, and the Big Ten have canceled some or all of their fall sports seasons, despite having multi-million-dollar budgets and resources that we could only dream of. They still felt that it was unsafe to proceed. Sports gave me confidence as a kid. I wouldn't be here without them. And I really value what they instill in our young men and women. However, we are an academic institution. And if it's not safe enough for us to bring students back into the classroom to learn algebra, then we probably shouldn't have them on the football field, the volleyball court, the tennis courts, or in the fairway. And so for that reason, we're going to put a pause to fall sports. And we know that if we do this right, that eventually we'll return to athletic competition and be able to compete and win in a safe manner. To the athletes who are devastated by this decision, I want to use the Florida Marlins as an example. When 4 Florida Marlins tested positive for the coronavirus, Major League Baseball called the Marlins and said that they had the option of whether or not to play that night. They chose to play. I would have done the same thing. How many times have we all been hurt in a game and the coach says, "Are you too hurt to play? Are you okay?" And we always look the coach in the eye and we say, "We're fine." It's what athletes do. I get it. And so that's why it's upon us who are a bit removed from the field to make a decision that's in everyone's best interest. I know it's disappointing, but I hope that you can trust that we have your best interest at heart and that together as a community, we're going to figure out the best way to return to athletic competition. I fully support Superintendent Dormer's decision to suspend athletics, and I know that working with Mr. Palladino, when it is time to return, we'll do so safely. And like I said before, we're going to win. Thank you, and have a great day.